I had a lot of friends. I had a lot of friends here. A huge Malaysian contingent at LSE campus. But so I was telling my nephew before he came here that I underrated the LSE campus because I said it was just a bunch of buildings. But I must say it looks a bit nicer now. So, okay.
I feel like the sentiment about the building still exists nowadays. We just say it's a bunch of buildings
Yeah,
stacked together.
it looks a bit nicer though.
Yeah.
It looks a bit nicer.
So for the first question,
Yep.
I just wanted to see, this is my personal question for you. We all know your involvement with Hot FM and we're excited to see how that goes. But you were also the VP of FAM from 07 to 10. Out of curiosity, if you were to manage a football club, like be the manager, like if you were to take over Arrington Hub currently, how do you think you would do?
I don't think anyone wants to take over from Eric Ten Hag right now. I think he's doing quite well. I think being a football manager is probably the most high-stress job apart from being a prime minister. And it's probably even worse because if you're prime minister, well, theoretically you get 5 years, right? Not in Malaysia, not so, neither in England. But if you manage a football club, you can be fired at any time, and you're subject to so much abuse online. Well, just like the prime minister, I guess. So in a way, it's very similar. You have to manage people, apart from managing strategy and managing on the field, but just as important is off the pitch. So managing people is really important, and that's what politicians do as well. Yeah. Yeah.
So
By the way, I'm also now on the board of directors for JDT FC. Anyone who supports JDT. So yeah, so I've not left football completely.
So it's still in your heart.
Oh yeah. I was deputy president of the Football Association of Malaysia. And I started the National Football Development Program under the Ministry of Youth and Sports, developing young football players in Malaysia. So football is very close to my heart. Sports is close to my heart. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice to hear. So, diving into the topic of overcoming setbacks for a greater comeback, it seems like a complex one, but let's try to take this from the beginning. How foreign or conversely common is the arc of setbacks and comebacks in your life? Maybe you can touch a bit about your early life or career.
Yeah, so I think the the arc of my career has been up and down. I started in politics in 2000, 23 years ago, and I had a relatively easy start. You know, I worked with Prime Minister who ended up becoming my father-in-law, and I think that's well documented online. But after he retired shortly after I joined politics. So any sort of easy ride was dissipated immediately, and I won what was the UMNO Youth Leadership in 2008. Maybe earlier than that, 2008. Yeah, I won it in 2008, and I was cold storaged because there was a new prime minister, new leader of the party, Dr. Sri Najib. He obviously thought that I had come with the former PM and thought I should be put in cold storage. So normally what happens in Malaysia, if you win the leadership of the youth wing of the ruling party at that time, UMNO, you'd normally be given a full cabinet minister post. That was the tradition, a convention. I wasn't given one. I was told to sit in the corner and sort of be quiet. And that was tough because a lot of people avoided me. A lot of people didn't give me an opportunity. So I had, for those 4 or 5 years, I really had to prove. I was a member of parliament as well, and I had to really prove myself on my own. And in 2013, when we won the election again, and I won my second term as MP, then I was finally brought in as Minister of Youth and Sports. I worked really hard to make sure that the opportunity that was given was something that I didn't squander. And in 2018, the next setback in my career came in, and that's when we lost the entire government. So Najib lost, we lost that election in 2018. So I went from being a youth leader and Minister of Youth and Sports to just an MP. I lost my cabinet post. And after that, I fought for the presidency, the leadership of my party against the current president of UMNO, Zahid Hamidi, who's now Deputy Prime Minister. So I fought him. I lost, not badly, but I lost sort of decent result. And after I lost, I was out again, just a normal MP. And in 2020, after there was the PH government fell, I came back in as Minister of Science, and then I became the COVID vaccine minister, then I became health minister. And in November of last year, the ARC fell again. I was sent, I didn't have a seat. So some of you know that the deputy president of my party took my seat, and I was left without a seat. The last minute, I had to go find a seat, and I found a seat which was not a safe seat at all. It was a seat where in the previous election, not the last election, but the election previous to that, we had lost by 26,000. I stood there. I brought the majority down to 2,600. Not good enough. Maybe if I had a couple more days, I might have won. So this time around, I lost everything. I lost my cabinet position. I lost my MP position, my MP seat. I'm no longer a member of parliament. So yeah, the arc has not been linear going up. It's been up and down, up and down, up and down. And I think, I mean, that's adversity and that's politics. It's once upon a time you would join UMNO and the arc would be quite linear or go up all the way, and that would be that. But nowadays it doesn't matter which party you join. I think you have to be used to this up and down, this crest and troughs of politics. Because if you look at the result of the last election, November of last